Assalamu alaikum. My name is Professor Sameer Qureshi. I'm a professor of ENT and head and neck surgery at Jinnah Sindh Medical University in JPMC. Today I will teach you how to do an ENT examination. As with any examination, you have to take the permission of the patient first and you have to inform him what you are doing. So we'll do the same here with this patient. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
मेरा नाम डॉक्टर समीर है। मैं आपके नाक कान गले का मुआयना करूंगा। आपकी इजाज़त है?
जी बिल्कुल।
आपका नाम बताइए।
नासिर।
नासिर साहब, मैं आपके कान का मुआयना करूंगा पहले
जी।
और आपको इस दौरान कोई तकलीफ हो तो आप मुझे बताइएगा। आई विल स्टॉप माय एग्जामिनेशन।
ठीक है।
First of all, we'll do the examination of the ear. This is a comfortable distance, about a arm's length, that you can keep in between you and your patient. What you need to do is, first of all, you need to do the inspection. In inspection, what you need to see is, first of all, there is a pinna here. This pinna has got a helix, it has got an anti-helix, it has got a tragus, it has got an antitragus, the scaphoid fossa, right? And then there are the attachments. This is the lobule, right? You need to see at the back for any scars, for any pigmentation, for any hole here, which may be a fistula. You may see for any hole in this area also, which may be a preauricular sinus. So this is what you see in inspection. In inspection also, what you can do is, you can pull the pinna upwards, backwards and laterally in adults to straighten up this canal. This is a canal, this is the external auditory meatus. The opening here is known as the external auditory meatus. And when you pull it up here, you can see a canal, which is known as external auditory canal. This canal has got a length of about 2.5 centimeters in adult. And when you pull it upwards, backwards and laterally like this canal will straighten up. In children, it tends to be pulled only backwards, right? So this is how you do an inspection here. What you need to see is, you need to see this hole, the external auditory meatus, and you need to see the hair bearing area, which is here, which you can see very comfortably. After you have done your inspection, what you do is, you do your palpation. In palpation, basically what you do is, you palpate this area. This is area of the temporomandibular joint. In this, if the patient feels pain, you can ask him, "Ke muh kholiye, band kare." This is the joint, you can feel the joint. And if the patient complains of pain in this area, probably this pain is related more to the TM joint. Then again, you tend to basically go backwards and put a little pressure here and see for any tenderness, see for any discomfort which is occurring to the patient, which tells you that the patient is not feeling comfortable, he's got pain in this area. So this is palpation. This is the area of the TM joint, and then this is the area, post-auricular area. This ends the palpation. Then what we do is, we do otoscopy. In otoscopy, what you need to do is, you need a speculum. This is known as the oral speculum, ear speculum or oral speculum. You will hold it with the index finger and thumb, and you will hold it in the ipsilateral hand, the same hand. This is the left side of the patient. You are holding it on the left, in your left hand, and you are holding it with the ipsilateral finger and thumb. What you do is, you pull the ear upwards, backwards and laterally, and generally insert this. When you have inserted this inside the ear, what you are going to see is, you are going to see the external auditory meatus 1, and you are going to see the tympanic membrane. When you see the tympanic membrane, you need to see what the landmarks for the color of the tympanic membrane, the landmarks of the tympanic membrane, then the position of the tympanic membrane, and you do Valsalva to ask the patient to do Valsalva to see the mobility of the tympanic membrane. Once you have done the otoscopy, the best thing is, the best otoscopy can be done with an otoscope rather than a speculum. So if the otoscope is available, take an otoscope, hold it in the ipsilateral hand, pull the ear upwards, backwards and laterally. Then you can examine all these structures which I have mentioned earlier, like the color, the landmarks, the handle of the malleus, the umbo, the pars flaccida, the pars tensa, all very clearly. You can see if there is any pathology, like a perforation. You need to see that perforation. You need to mention what is the size, what is the site, how are the edges, and how do you see the tympanic membrane. If there is a discharge here, you need to take the discharge on a probe. Take a probe, put small amount of cotton on that probe, take the discharge, smell the discharge, whether it's foul smelling or not. If it's foul smelling or not, that will give you a differentiation by smelling it. And then of course you can take the discharge and send the discharge for culture and sensitivity also at the same time, right? So this is what you see on otoscopy. The best way to do an otoscopy is with an otoscope. You see for the landmarks, you see for the position of the tympanic membrane, you see for the mobility. For the mobility, we'll ask the patient to do Valsalva. आप अपनी नाक बंद कीजिए और अपना मुंह बंद रखें और कोशिश करें नाक बंद करके नाक को बाहर सांस छोड़ने की, ताकि आपके पर्दों पे जोर आए. जब मैं कहूँगा उस वक्त कीजिएगा. जी जनाब, अब कीजिए. This is the Valsalva maneuver. I've seen the mobility, whether the tympanic membrane is mobile or not, right? Once you have done this otoscopy, you need to see for hearing. For hearing, what we initially do is we do a little sounds to the, we'll give a little sounds which are a whisper, a normal conservation voice and a loud sound. ठीक है? And we mask the patient. नासिर साहब उस तरफ देखिएगा. And what you can do is you can place your यहाँ पर इस हाथ रख सकते हैं इस तरह, मैंने जिस तरह रखा, and you can have something here, the other ear is here to do the masking. You can take a cotton, you can take a paper or something which rustles here, and then you say, मैं आपको कुछ अल्फाज सुनाऊंगा, आपने बताना है आपको आवाज़ आई है नहीं आई है. ठीक है. आपका नाम. आपका नाम. गुड. आप कहाँ रहते हैं? आप कहाँ रहते हैं? This is whisper. Then again, if he is not hearing, you can increase the sound like आपका नाम. And then again, if he doesn't hear, you can just do not have shout, but use a loud voice, and you can assess that he is hearing or not. So these are the small clinical tests. Then after this, what you can do is, you can do for assessment of hearing, you can do a tuning fork test. This is a tuning fork. The normal tuning fork which we use usually, they come in octaves. The normal ones which we use are 5 and 12, right? So what I will do is, नासिर साहब मैं आपको ये आवाज़ सुनाऊंगा, आपने बताना है आपको आवाज़ आ रही है या नहीं आ रही है. ये आवाज़ आपको आती है? जी आ रही है. ये आ रही है? जी. अच्छा, अब the first test we need to do is Rennie's test. नासिर साहब मैं आपको आवाज़ सुनाऊंगा, आपने बताना है कि आवाज़ कहाँ बेहतर आ रही है, सामने बेहतर आ रही है या पीछे बेहतर आ रही है. Remember one thing, command is very important. If you do the test and you don't give the command, you can't have an inference. So what you do is strike it here. आवाज़ आ रही है नासिर साहब? ये भी आ रही है? जी ये भी आ रही है. कौन सी आवाज़ बेहतर है? पहले वाली. ठीक. Okay. So this was the Rennie's test. The principle of Rennie's test is air conduction is better than the bone conduction. So in normal people, when you do the Rennie's test, the air conduction will always be better than the bone conduction. So in this particular patient also, he has got a Rennie's which is positive. But you need to do all these tests on both sides, otherwise you can't drive an inference. So what I will do is, नासिर साहब मैं इस कान में भी आवाज़ सुना रहा हूँ, आवाज़ आ रही है आपको? जी बिल्कुल आ रही है. ये भी आ रही है? जी बिल्कुल आ रही है. कौन सी आवाज़ बेहतर है? पहले वाली. पहले वाली. तो Rennie is positive, right? अच्छा, mind you, when you place the tuning fork, it should be here, right in front, and it should be parallel like this. Don't place it here, don't place it here. And when you place it on the back, just pull the pinna and place it on the mastoid. Don't place it here, don't place it here. Place it in this area. This is the area where you need to place. Then once you have done these two tests, what you do is, you do another test which is known as Rennie's. मैं आपको ये आवाज़ सुनाऊंगा, आपने मुझे बताना है कि किसी कान में जाती है आवाज़, बीच में रहती है या आवाज़ नहीं आती, जो भी ऑप्शन हो. किसी कान में महसूस होती है आपको आवाज़? नहीं महसूस होती. Weber's will always lateralize towards the disease. This test is known as Weber's test. The principle is it will lateralize towards the disease ear in cases of conductive deafness. Otherwise, it won't lateralize, right? So this patient has got a Rennie's positive on both sides, which means that probably the ear is normal. One, if the patient complains that he cannot hear good from this ear, clinically, what you do is you do a Rennie's test, and this may be a Rennie's test which may be positive. But you do another test which is known as absolute bone conduction test. नासिर साहब मैं आपको आवाज़ सुनाऊंगा, जब ये आवाज़ ख़त्म हो जाएगी तो आप मुझे बताएंगे कि आपको आवाज़ ख़त्म हो गई. You will mask this area, you will place it here. आवाज़ आ रही है आपको? जी आ रही है. ये ख़त्म हो जाएगी तो बताइएगा. This is comparison of the absolute bone conduction of the patient with the examiner, provided the hearing of the examiner is also normal. So this is to see that whether if he complains that he's got reduced hearing, and then again if the absolute bone conduction is lower than mine, if mine is normal, then of course this Rainey's is reduced, Rainey's positive, right? So these are the tests basically which you need to do. Then you need to examine the facial nerve. The facial nerve is the nerve expression. In the ear examination, you have to look for the facial nerve also. नासिर साहब, मैं आपसे कुछ कहूँगा, आप कुछ इशारे दूंगा, आप उस तरह कीजिएगा, जैसे मुस्कुरा के दिखाइए, दांत दिखाइए अपने, खुल के दिखाएं, गुड, आंखें बंद करें जोर से, इस तरह जोर से बंद करें कि मुझे खोलने न दें, गाल फुलाएं, ठीक है, माथे पे बल डालें, गुड, थैंक यू. ये अब आपका what we have done is you have examined the facial nerve, right? And the facial nerve is the nerve of expression. The facial expressions are given by the facial nerve. So you made an assessment of the facial nerve also. Ear has got two functions. The first function is hearing, and the second is equilibrium. You need to see about the balance of the patient also. So what you do is first of all you see for nystagmus. सीधे बैठ जाएं नासिर साहब ऐसे बेहतर. अब मेरी ये उंगली है, आपको कंफर्टेबली नजर आ रही है? जी बिल्कुल. आप इसी उंगली को फॉलो करेंगे और इस उंगली को फॉलो करके देखेंगे. आपने गर्दन नहीं हिलानी, सिर्फ आंख से इसको फॉलो करना है. So what we are seeing is, we are seeing nystagmus. Nystagmus is involuntary, oscillatory, rhythmic movement of the eyeball. Involuntary, oscillatory, rhythmic movement of the eyeball. Basically this was a stimulus which was given just to see whether there is a nystagmus or not. Nystagmus is usually a feature of basically any sort of underlying disease which is present there, which concerns with the symptom which is known as vertigo, right? अभी what we will do is simple test. नासिर साहब अपने जूते उतार लें. आराम से खड़े हो जाएं, यहाँ पर अपने हाथ इस तरह करके बांध लें, राइट? आपको किसी किस्म का चक्कर तो नहीं आ रहा? नहीं सर. आप आंखें बंद करें, आप गिरेंगे नहीं, बेफिक्र रहें, मैं आपको पकड़ लूँगा, ठीक है? ठीक है, हाथ नीचे कर लें, हाथ नीचे कर लें, जी हाँ, आंखें खोल लें, आंखें खोल लें. अब आंखें फिर से बंद करें, मार्च पास करके दिखाएं जैसे मार्च पास करते हैं. अब गिरेंगे नहीं, मैं पकड़ लूँगा आपको, रिलैक्स रहें, ठीक है, बस ठीक है, थैंक यू. अब मैं ये मेरी उंगली आपको नज़र आ रही है नासिर साहब? अपने हाथ की उंगली से आप अपनी नाक को लगाएंगे और मेरी इस उंगली को लगाएंगे, ठीक है ना? करें. जी जनाब, अब मेरी उंगली को लगाएं, ठीक है, करते जाएं, जल्दी जल्दी करें, ठीक है, गुड. हाथ को इस तरह करते जाएं, फिर दूसरे हाथ से, ठीक है, गुड. मेरी तरफ देखिएगा सीधे. This is the last test you need to do, and this is known as fistula test. If somebody's got a hole in his ear, this will pressure, the air pressure will create some sort of pressure on that hole, and the resulting will be a nystagmus. And we are doing it in the last because some people may experience extreme vertigo with this, and they may even fall down. So this is done at the last of the ENT examination. For an undergraduate, this is almost all of the ENT examination as per ear. Now we'll proceed to the examination of the nose, right? In the examination of the nose, as with the ear, we'll first do the inspection. In the inspection, what you need to see is, you need to see from here, this is the area which is known as the nasion, this is the tip. First of all, we will elevate and we will see from the tip to the nasion whether there is any abnormality. One, if there is any abnormality, if there is, what you need to see is, it's in the bony part, because this is the bony part and this is the cartilaginous part. You need to mention whether there is any external deformity, you need to mention whether there is any scar, and when you mention all this, basically you need to see whether it's in the cartilaginous portion or it's in the bony portion. Then again, you see this area, you lift up this tip. The area which is seen in between is known as the columella. The hair-bearing area here is known as the vestibule. This all can be seen in inspection. You have to mention at a later level, you can even mention about the tip, whether it's a sharp tip, it's a depressed tip, there is a supratip deformity, there is a bulbous sort of a what you call area at the tip. You can mention it all. You can see it from the side also. From the side, you need to see whether this tip and this nasion, the area in between that is aligned. Sometimes you need to pull this a little to see whether there is a complete alignment or not. So you have seen it from below upwards, you have seen it from the sides. In cases in which you have got proptosis, you can also go back and see whether there is any basically proptosis, which is a protrusion of the eyeball. Once you have done the inspection, as I told you, you will lift up this columella, you will see the vestibule, and then when you have done your inspection, you do a little palpation. The palpation is done in this area, the area of the frontal, the area of the ethmoid, and then this is the area of the maxilla to elicit any sort of tenderness which might be present there. So you have palpated this area. You have done the inspection, you have done the palpation, you have palpated in the area of the frontal, the ethmoidal and the maxillary. Then you do an examination which is known as anterior rhinoscopy. In anterior rhinoscopy, as the name suggests, anterior means seeing the anterior area, rhine means the nose, and scopy means to see the anterior part of the nose. That is known as anterior rhinoscopy. In anterior rhinoscopy, we are seeing the anterior part of the nose. So these are the rhinoscopes which we have got here. You pick up according to the size of the patient. That if it's an adult, you will have an adult one, you can have a smaller one for small people. What you do is place it on the palm of your right hand, put your index finger and thumb of the left hand, the middle finger on the right and the ring finger on the left, like this. I'll demonstrate again. Place it on the palm of your hand, hold it with the index finger and thumb, the middle finger on the right and the ring finger on the left, like this. Now what this is in your control, you will open it accordingly according to the size of the nose, so that you don't injure the patient. Nasir साहब, आपकी नाक थोड़ा सा अंदर से मुआयना होगा. You have put it here, you have opened here, now you have doing the anterior rhinoscopy. The aim of doing this anterior rhinoscopy is, you repeat it on the other side, but you want to see the nasal septum, you want to see the turbinates, you want to see for any mass if it's present there, any discharge which is present there. If there is a discharge, just like the ear, what you need to do is, you need to take a probe, and with the probe you take out the discharge, smell it, whether it's foul smelling or it's not smelling or whatever, and then of course you can send the discharge if you feel like for culture and sensitivity, if it's a long standing discharge there, right. 2 is, after this, after doing this anterior rhinoscopy, you need to check the patency of the nose. For that you can use this spatula. This is the tongue depressor which is here. You ask the patient to inhale first, नाक से सांस लीजिए और सांस बाहर छोड़ दें इस पे. You see the spatula and you see the fogging here. The fogging will basically tell you that whether there is a nasal obstruction or not. If the fogging is not present on the side, that means that there is a nasal obstruction on that side, right? If there is no fogging, no nasal obstruction. Fogging means nasal obstruction. If there is a partial fogging, means comparatively one side is more better fogged than the other side, right? So you have checked the nasal patency. You have done the inspection, you have done the palpation, you have done the anterior rhinoscopy, and then again you have checked the patency. Then you can take something for smell. Like I've got this little scent soaked basically gauze piece. नासिर साहब, ये एक इतर है, मैं आपको सुंघाऊंगा, आपने बताना है, एक खुशबू है, आपने बताना है कि आपको खुशबू आ रही है, बदबू आ रही है या नहीं आ रही है, जो भी हो. आपने आंख बंद करनी है, जब मैं सुंघाऊंगा तो आप बताएंगे कि जनाब सांस लें, खुशबू आ रही है जी, जनाब सांस लें जी, हाँ, किस चीज़ की खुशबू है ये? इतर जैसी है. गुड, वेरी नाइस. सो व्हाट वी हैव डन इज, we have done the smell test also, a sense of smell. So we have done the First of all, inspection, palpation, anterior anoscopy. We have checked the patency, we have checked the smell. Then what we can do is, we can do an examination to check the posterior part of the nose. That is known as posterior rhinoscopy. And posterior rhinoscopy, what we need is, we need this tongue depressor. Then we have got this mirror. This mirror, these are two mirrors which you can see here. The one here is known as the ideal mirror. And the second one is known as the posterior rhinoscopy mirror. The difference you can see is that this posterior rhinoscopy mirror has got one angle here and the second angle here. This ideal mirror has got a single angle. It's straight, and it has got a mirror basically here at the corner with no angles. This has got an angle here first and then an angle here. So this is a posterior rhinoscopy mirror. Posterior means posterior part of the nose. Rhinoscopy means to see the posterior part of the nose, of the nasopharynx and nose, right? So what we do is, we give a little heat to this mirror first by some lighter or something, and then we take the tongue depressor. नासिर साहब, मैं आपकी नाक के पिछले हिस्से का मुआयना करूंगा. जी सर. आपको आपकी इजाजत है? जी बिल्कुल. मुंह खोलिए. We place the tongue depressor here. We take this, hold it like a pen. We push it back and back and back, and then basically just behind the uvula. When you have gone behind the uvula, when you place this, the patient will gag. And with the gag, it becomes difficult. But the method is, we need you to know the method, right? The method is that you hold the tongue depressor here on this hand, on your left hand. With your right hand, if you're a right-handed person, you hold it like a pen, right? And then place it here, go beyond the uvula, and when you've gone beyond the uvula, straighten this up a little so that you can see the area of the nasopharynx. You can move this little so that you can see both the nares and you can see the eustachian tube openings as well, right? So this is the posterior rhinoscopy. Once you have done that, you can do a test which is known as the corneal test. नासिर साहब, आपने उस तरफ देखना है, अपना मुंह उस तरफ कर लें और सामने की तरफ देखते रहिएगा. उस तरफ मुंह करके सामने की तरफ देखते रहिएगा. उस तरफ मुंह करें, सामने की तरफ देखते रहिए. You touch this and he closes his eyes. This means that cornea is intact. Then again you can check the trigeminal sensation also. आंखें बंद करें नासिर साहब. मैं आपको कुछ टच करूंगा इस तरह, ये देखें, टच आपको महसूस हो रहा है? जी हो. जब मैं टच करूंगा, आपने बताना है मुझे महसूस हुआ, और अगर टच नहीं हुआ तो आपने बताना है कि मुझे महसूस नहीं हुआ. ठीक है? जी सर. तो नासिर साहब, आपको ये महसूस हो रहा है? जी हो रहा है. कहाँ पर हो रहा है? सर पेशानी पर. पेशानी पर हो रहा है. ये हो रहा है? जी हो रहा है. ये कहाँ पर है? ये सर कनपट्टी की तरफ. यहाँ. ठीक है. ये महसूस हो रहा है? नहीं सर. ये महसूस नहीं हुआ? नहीं सर. ये महसूस होता है? जी हो रहा है. ठीक है. उसके बाद ये महसूस हुआ? नहीं सर. ये जी हुआ है. ठीक है. This is how you check the sensation basically of the trigeminal nerves. This completes for an undergraduate the examination of the nose, right? Then the last examination which you need to do is the examination of the oral cavity. नासिर साहब, अब आपके मैं मुंह का मुआयना करूंगा और गले का. ठीक है, आपकी इजाजत है? जी बिल्कुल. We take a tongue depressor. Tongue depressor can be a disposable tongue depressor or can be a blade, which we have used initially, right? Blade mein you have got a more firmer grip as compared to this, but you can use this. This is disposable. This you have to sterilize every time that you use. नासिर साहब, मुंह खोलिए. जी. First of all, you see this area which is known as the lips. You look for the angle of the lips. You look, ज़बान अंदर रखिएगा please, and you look for all this area for any sort of inflammation which is present there, for any sort of breaks or cracks or anything, right? Then again, you ask the patient. This is only inspection. मुंह खोला रखें, and then you see the cheek mucosa on both sides. You ask the patient to produce the tongue. नासिर साहब, अपनी ज़बान निकालिए. नासिर साहब, ज़बान ऊपर लगाएं, साइड पे ले जाएं, इस तरफ, दूसरी तरफ. ठीक है. You have seen the movements of the tongue. ज़बान बाहर निकालिए. You have seen the dorsum of the tongue. ज़बान ऊपर पीछे ले जाइए. आप नेक थोड़ी, अपनी गर्दन बेंड करें, एंड हाँ, ज़बान पीछे ले जाएं, पीछे पीछे. You see the floor of the mouth. This is the floor of the mouth that you are seeing. The frenulum in between, the submandibular duct on both sides, on this side and this side of the frenulum. Then you see for the movement that the tongue is mobile in all directions. ज़बान उस तरफ ले जाइए. You see for any sort of marks on the tongue, any ulcer, any growth or anything on this side, same on the other side, you see that there is nothing here. Then what you need to see is, नासिर साहब अब थोड़ा सा मैं ये स्पैचुला लगा के मुआयना कर रहा हूँ, मुंह को ढीला छोड़ दें. You see, मुंह खोलें. You see the condition of the oral cavity. You can comment on that how is the orodental hygiene. You need to see about the mucosa. Then here you see the opening of the, you see the opening of the parotid duct, basically here, right before the premolar, right on the upper side. The same here, Stenson. This is the gingivo basically buccal sulcus. This is the alveolus, the teeth bearing area. These are the gums. The junction, the upper junction is known as the gingiva for the gums and buccal for the inside of the cheek mucosa. The whole area in between this is known as the vestibule, right? This is the vestibule. You see the mucosa, mucola rake. You see for any basically scar mark, you see for any discoloration, any difficulty in opening the mouth like trismus. Nasir sahab, zaban bahar nikalein. A bole a. What you see here is in the center, zaban bahar nikaliye. A bole a. In the center you see the uvula. The mobile part, the immobile part is the hard palate. You see the antepillar and the posterior pillar, and you see the posterior pharyngeal wall. In between the antepillar and the posterior pillar lies the tonsil. The antepillar and the posterior pillar, and in between them is the tonsil. The uvula is in between, and the posterior pharyngeal wall is at the back. Muh kholiye please, fir dobara se. You touch at the back, and he gags. This is known as the gag reflex. This is known as the gag reflex. This is the normal reflex which is present in normal people, right? Now I will do another test which is known as indirect laryngoscopy. Indirect laryngoscopy or IDL. I say it indirect laryngoscopy because I am seeing the larynx indirectly. This is a mirror which I have shown you earlier also. This is the indirect laryngoscopy mirror. With this mirror I am going to examine the larynx indirectly because I am not seeing it. I am seeing it through a mirror. So one catch is that when I see it through the mirror, if something is looking on the right in the mirror, basically it's on the left side, because a mirror will always give you an opposite image, and I am seeing it indirectly. Indirect laryngoscopy mirror, IDL mirror, and the images which I will see basically on the right in the mirror will be actually on the left, because the mirror image is also always an opposite image. First I will give a little warmth to this mirror by a lighter or a match or something. When it is warm, then I'll do the examination. नासिर साहब मैं आपके गले के पीछे हिस्से का मुआयना करूंगा, आपकी इजाज़त है? I'll give the warmth to this mirror, then I'll ask the patient to protrude his tongue. नासिर ज़बान निकाल लीजिए बाहर, मैं आपकी ज़बान को पकड़ूंगा, इससे आपको दर्द नहीं होगा. आप मुंह खोल के रखें बड़ा सा. I will hold it like a pen. I will push it back a little. नासिर साहब जोर न लगाएं, हाथ नीचे रखिए. And I'll push it back and I'll ask the patient to say E. I'll ask the patient to say E. When the patient says E, this means that I am trying to see the mobility of the cord. I'll try to see the larynx one. First of all, the areas of the larynx, the normal anatomy of the larynx. I will like to see for any abnormality, and I would like to see for the hypopharynx which is around the larynx, and I would like to see the movement. When I say ask the patient to say E, because if you don't ask the patient to see E, you can't examine the vocal cords, the movement of the vocal cords. So you need, in addition to examining the normal anatomy of the larynx and hypopharynx, you would also need to see the mobility of the cords. So this is ideal examination. So what you have done is you have done the inspection, you have done basically the movements of the tongue, you have seen the inside. Then lastly what you are going to do is, you are going to, in cases where you need it, we will do a palpation. The palpation is that if there is any growth, you need to palpate. Nasir sahab, muh kholiyega. If there is any growth, then you will touch it, you will feel the growth, you will see the extent of the growth, you will see the induration if there is any. If there is an ulcer or a growth or whatever, you will try to feel it, whether it's firm, it's hard or whatever, right? And then you feel the edges, you feel whether it's numb or it bleeds on touch or whatever, right? Then in some cases, like in the submandibular gland, you might have to do a bimanual palpation. In bimanual palpation, what you need to do is basically, you place one of the hands here, muh kholiye Nasir sahab. You place your finger here and then you try to palpate bimanually. You palpate from here, and here basically you can feel your own basically fingers and hand, right? So this is a bimanual palpation. When you put a hand outside and you put a hand inside and you palpate from both, basically this is bimanual. When there is a growth, or or a ulcer or any sort of abnormality that you see and you want to check it, you put a glove and basically your hand inside the oral cavity, then you palpate and you see for any induration, for any tenderness, for any bleeding which might occur there, or you can elicit, or you can also see the margins. Basically you can feel the margins and you can feel the basically whether the growth or whatever it is there, it's soft, firm or hard. As the last part of this examination, it is mandatory to examine the nose, examine the neck as well. Nasir sahab, apni ye button khol dijiye comfortably. In the male patients, basically this can be done at the start of the examination. If you are doing examination, you can do it at the start as well. When you take the permission from the patient, you can do it at the start, or if you basically wanted to do with the examination of the neck, you can do it when you are doing the examination. But the best thing is do it at the start. So you expose the nose, expose the neck very nicely. You go at the back of the patient, and then again when you are palpating for the lymph nodes of the neck, what you need to do is you need to start from here. This is the area. This is the submental area. This is the submandibular area. Then you follow this area. This is the belly of the digastric till where you've got this submandibular triangle. Then you go with the border of the sternocleidomastoid. With the border of the sternocleidomastoid, this is the border of the sternocleidomastoid. You try to palpate here in this area, the level 2, the level 3, and then the level 4, and then you can basically palpate this supraclavicular area. You can go at the back, and then this is the area of the posterior triangle, and then again you can palpate in the center also, starting from the suprasternal notch, going along with the thyroid cartilage, and then they're coming up, basically going right up to the hyoid. Then you can elicit the laryngeal crepitus. Nasir sahab, ye main thoda sa hila ke dekhunga. This is the area of the larynx. You can feel the Adam's apple, and then you slide out over the posterior pharyngeal wall to see whether there is any crepitus which is present there, or there is absence of crepitus. Absence of crepitus means that there is some sort of mass which is basically obstructing this area. If you've got a swelling here, then there is basically an examination of the swelling which you need to do. That's a totally different examination. At present, we are teaching you only the skills to learn the basic examination for ENT at undergraduate level. After you have done your examination, you need to thank the patient. Nasir sahab, aapka bahut bahut shukriya. You need to re-drape him. आप उनके बटन लगा दें. You can ask him अपने बटन लगा लें. And
thank you sir.
You need to thank him. बहुत शुक्रिया, and re-drape. And this completes the examination of ENT for undergraduate level. Thank you very much.